Elders would warn the youths never to get close to her because of her drunkenness. Adaeze was beauty without a suitor. She would stumble through the streets, her speech slurred and her movement unsteady, leaving a trail of embarrassment in her wake. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you. In the heart of a peaceful Nigerian little community, there lived an orphan named Adaeze. She was renowned for her unparalleled beauty, her face adorned with captivating features that drew the admiration of all who beheld her. Her beauty was irresistible. However, behind this appearance of beauty lay a dark secret that plagued her existence. Adaeze was a slave to alcohol, a vice that gripped her tightly since her youth. Every day, without fail, she would indulge in copious amounts of palm wine, gin, or whatever spirit she could lay her hand on. Her addiction knew no bounds, and it consumed her whole being. Despite her undeniable allure, no man in the village dared to marry Adaeze. They feared the shame and humiliation that would accompany her drunken escapade. Elders would warn the youths never to get close to her because of her drunkenness. Adaeze was beauty without a suitor. She would stumble through the streets, her speech slurred and her movement unsteady, leaving a trail of embarrassment in her wake. Not only did Adaeze addiction tarnish her reputation, but it also brought her to the brink of destitution. She would beg for money from passerby, using every penny she collected to fuel her unsatiable craving for alcohol. On desperate occasions, she would even resort to selling off parcels of her late father's prized farmland just to satisfy her addiction. Despite the pleas and interventions of concerned families and friends, Adaeze remained trapped in the clutches of alcoholism. Her beauty faded with each passing day, replaced by the ravages of her addiction. Yet, Adaeze's addiction worsened. People in the community grew increasingly bewildered. Why such a beautiful young woman would succumb to the lure of alcohol? They whispered among themselves, exchanging speculative theories about the root cause of her downfall. Some speculated that she was cursed, while others believed she was haunted by the spirits of her ancestors. The once admired beauty of Adaeze had become a subject of gossip and ridicule in the village. People would gather in hushed tones, sharing tales of her drunken exploits and shaking their heads in dismay. Even the children, usually innocent and carefree, couldn't resist the temptation to mock her as she staggered her way home, struggling to maintain her balance. Despite the mockery and scorn heaped upon her, Adaeze remained oblivious to the whispers and laughter that followed her in her wake. Her mind was clouded by the numbing effects of alcohol, shielding her from the harsh reality of her situation. She wandered the streets in haze, her once proud demeanor now reduced to a mere shadow of its former self. But amidst the judgment and mockery, some compassionate souls were worried about her, hoping she would one day break free from the grip of alcohol as it had become a daunting challenge for her. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the community settled in tranquil embrace of the night, Adaeze found herself consumed by a particular potent of brewed palm wine. The effect of her indulgence weighed heavily upon her, rendering her sense dulled and her movement sluggish. With each unsteady step, Adaeze stumbled along the familiar path that led to her humble abode, but the alcohol she took proved too potent to overcome, and before long, she collapsed on the dusty ground. The night air was thick, and the pungent scent of the fermented spirit as Adaeze drifted into a deep sleep. As hours passed, the village lay shrouded in silence, Adaeze laid unconscious on the path until the first light of dawn began to streak. A young hunter from a neighboring community named Chibozo passed by the bush path. His keen sensing detected the unmistakable sound of someone snoring heavily. Out of curiosity, he followed the source of the noise until he stumbled upon the sight of Adaeze lying on the ground. Despite her unkempt appearance and the overwhelming stench of alcohol that clung to her, the young hunter felt a twinge of sympathy stir within him. He approached Adaeze cautiously, noting the vulnerability etched upon her sleeping form. With a gentle touch, he roused her from her slumber, offering a reassuring smile as he helped her to her feet. Adaeze blinked groggily, her eyes fluttering open as she struggled to make sense of her surroundings. The young hunter's presence was a welcome surprise, his strong arms providing a steady support as he carried her on his back. Together they made their way through the winding streets of the village. He took Adaeze to his home and gave her shelter. Therefore, she slept comfortably. The next morning, Adaeze awoke to the tantalizing aroma of a freshly cooked food wafting in the air. Her stomach rumbled with hunger. She eagerly devoured the meal the handsome man served her. Admitting that she hadn't tasted a good meal as such in a very long time, Adaeze's voice called out to him, her eyes glistening with gratitude. In that moment, a connection sparked between them. Adaeze revealed her story to Chibuzo. He believed their paths had crossed by chance. He felt sad about Adaeze's story. Therefore, he decided to look for a permanent solution to her problem. Chibuzo traveled to another kindred to seek for help. Upon reaching the village, the young man sought out for a wise old sage, known for his insight and knowledge of ancestral customs. With a heavy heart, he relayed Adaeze's plight to the elder, seeking guidance and wisdom in finding a solution to a seemingly unsurmountable problem. The old man listened attentively to Chibuzo's tale, his weathered face portraying a hint of sadness as he considered the gravity of the situation. After a moment of contemplation, he spoke solemnly, revealing a long-held secret that had been passed down through generations. It is said, the old man began, his voice grave with solemnity. There is a curse that had plagued the descendants of Adaeze's family for generations. Every member of our lineage was a drunkard, succumbing to the temptation of alcohol and dies untimely. Chibuzo's heart sank at the revelation. If what the old man said was true, then Adaeze's addiction was not merely a personal failing, but a curse that had haunted her family for centuries. But the old sage did not despair, for he knew that there was still hope for Adaeze. Yet, with his guidance, the young man embarked on a journey to uncover the origins of the curse and find a way to break its hold over Adaeze and her family once and for all. The old sage words resonated deeply with Chibuzo, filling him with a sense of purpose and determination. Armed with the knowledge of ancestral curse and the proposed solution, he hurried back to Adaeze's side, eager to share the newfound hope with her. As he relayed the old man's instruction to Adaeze, her initial skepticism gave way to a glimmer of hope. Though the task ahead seemed daunting, she was willing to do whatever it took to break from the grip of her addiction and reclaim her life. That very night, under the guidance of Chibuzo, Adaeze embarked on a journey to liberation. She bathed herself with alcohol, the scent mingling in the night air as she uttered prayers of supplication and redemption. For 7 consecutive nights, Adaeze faithfully followed her ritual, the faith unwavering as she sought deliverance from the curse that plagued her families for generations. With each passing night, she felt the weight of her burden lift ever so slightly, replaced by a newfound sense of strength and determination. And then, on the seventh night, as Adaeze emerged from her final breath, a sense of peace washed over her. In that moment, she knew she had been set free from the chains that had bound her for so long. The curse was broken, and Adaeze stood as a testament to the power of resilience and faith. With her newfound freedom, Adaeze made the decision to leave her late father's house behind, choosing instead to forge a new path forward. With the support of the young hunter by her side, she set out to build a life of purpose and fulfillment, determined to leave the shadows of her past behind. As Adaeze basks into the newfound freedom from her addiction, she found herself transformed in many ways than she could ever imagine. She could no longer stand the smell of alcohol. Everyone watched her in awe as Adaeze transformation unfolded their very eyes. They marveled at the strength and resilience that she had displayed in the breaking free from the curse that plagued her for so long. Adaeze had become a beacon of hope and inspiration, her story serving as a testament to the power of redemption and second chances. But amidst the admiration and praise, there was one person whose love and support has never wavered, the young hunter who stood by Adaeze's side through it all. As they journeyed together along the path of healing and renewal, their bond grew stronger with each passing day. In the warmth of their love, Adaeze and Chibuzo found solace and companionship, their hearts intertwined in a love that transcended the trials and tribulations of their past. And so, it was with joy and gratitude that they made the decision to formalize their commitment to one another, exchanging vows of love and fidelity in a joyous celebration that echoed throughout the community. As husband and wife, Adaeze and Chibuzo embarked on a new chapter of their lives together, united in their shared vision of a future filled with love, laughter, and happiness. The tale of Adaeze and Chibuzo carries with it profound moral lessons that resonate deeply with all who hear it. First and foremost, it teaches us the importance of empathy and understanding. Adaeze's story reminds us that we should never judge others based solely on their current circumstances or shortcomings. Behind every outward facade lies a complex tapestry of experiences, struggles, and challenges that shape who we are. By extending a hand of compassion and support, we can help those in need find the strength and courage to overcome their obstacles and realize their full potential. Ultimately, it also reminds us that love, compassion, and understanding have the power to heal even the deepest wound. By embracing these virtues in our own lives, we can create a world where judgment gives way to acceptance and where every individual is given the opportunity to thrive and flourish. Drop your own moral lesson in the comment section. Thank you.